everyone. So today I'm going to do a double meal. Okay, what I'm going to do is out of 3.5 pounds of chopped meat, I'm going to make mini meatballs over brown gravy with noodles. That's the first one. The second one, I'm going to make stuffed peppers. Okay, now I used 3.5 pounds of chopped meat. I actually took a little bit of ground beef out because I'm going to make a taco filling, so I didn't use all of the meat, but I used most of it. Okay, so let's get started. All right, I'm going to bring you, don't mind me guys, I'm going to bring you over here, okay, so you can see exactly what I'm doing. All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to get started on mixing the mixture. Okay, now, can you see? I gotta make sure you can see. Bear with me, all right? I hope the lighting is okay. Let me see, maybe I'll put the light on. How's that, guys? I want to make sure you guys can see. All right, so here's the chopped meat. Now, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna make the whole mixture for the meatballs and for the stuffed peppers all in one, okay? All right, let's get started. I'm gonna put parsley, dried parsley. Now, the thing is, I use fresh herbs too, but I love this dried parsley, okay? It's a really good flavor and it just really does wonders, okay? So I don't measure anything, guys. You know, you just use it by eye and use it by, and put it in by taste, and that's how I do it. Okay, that's that's dried parsley. Now I have some onion powder, just a little bit of onion powder. I don't like a lot of onion taste in my meatballs and in my my stuffed peppers. Garlic, okay, garlic powder. Now you could put fresh garlic in this, but I don't know. I just prefer the garlic powder. Italian seasoning. Okay, now I'm going to tell you show you a trick about making meatballs and meatloaf and stuffed peppers and all of that really, really moist. Okay, I'm going to show it to you. This was my mother. My mother always told me that the meat has to be really wet to touch. And it's true, because I've made them sometimes and forgot to put a lot of water in it, and they come very firm, and then they're not juicy, they're not delicious. When you have the meat wet, and I'm going to show you, you're going to see the difference in how your meatballs and your meatloaf and your stuffed peppers taste, okay? Okay, so we did all that. I put Italian seasoning, onion, garlic powder, dried parsley, pepper, okay? Salt, okay, salt. Now this is my trick too. I put a little bit of the liquid butter because that also makes it moist, and it's less calories than real butter. I mean, you can use real butter if you want, it's up to you. All right, water. Now I'm going to start with a 1/2 cup because I don't want to put, you know, I don't want it to be soup. Some breadcrumbs. These are without cheese, but you can get the ones with cheese if you want. It's up to you. Okay, breadcrumbs, and now I'm going to put 2 eggs in it. Okay, make sure you don't get any shells in it. That's one. You always got to put eggs in it because it holds it together. Okay, let's get rid of this. Don't mind me going for a second. Let me wipe my hands. All right, now I'm going to put this over here for 1 second while I cut up my parsley and my basil. I like parsley and basil together because it just has a nice fresh flavor. Okay, just chop it up finely, and you can use a you know, a Cuisinart, a chopper, or whatever you want to do, but I just like to just rough chop it quickly because it does a really good job. I don't like it really, really small. You want to be able to taste it in your meatballs and your stuffed peppers. Okay, so this is a really, one thing about making recipes with ground beef is that it's just a really good meal that stretches. You know, you get a lot of meatballs out of it. I mean, out of this 3.5 pounds of shot meat, I'm going to be making meatballs, stuffed peppers, and taco meat. Okay, now the taco meat I'm going to put in a salad, but I'm not going to show you that right now. Right now I'm going to show you the stuffed peppers and the meatballs. Okay, so you get all that scrumptious stuff in there. The parsley and the basil. There's nothing like fresh parsley and fresh basil. I'll tell you, there really isn't. There really is nothing like it. Oh, and I also have, give me 1 second, I'll be right back. A little grated cheese. Now, I do a lot of Weight Watcher videos and all that. This is a good Weight Watcher meal too. You just have to count the points and, you know, put, like, this actually is, I forgot to tell you that, guys. This actually, let me talk to you this way. This actually is some 80-20, if you can see me. Some 80-20 and some, and like half, I think it was 93-7. So it's a mixture. But, you know, if you want to just use the less fat meat, or if you want to use turkey, you just got to make sure you make it nice and moist, because turkey can be a little bit dry, turkey meat. But if you want to do that, you know, you make it, this is how I do it. You make it how you want to do it, and how you want the points to come out. You know what I mean? It could be lower, it could be higher, depending on what you put in it, okay? Alright, so I put grated cheese in it. Again, I didn't measure, just threw it in, because that's how I do it. Now, sometimes I use my hand, sometimes I use a spoon. Right now I'm going to start out with a spoon. Okay, but I'm going to go to my hands. Now, your hands are your best tool in your kitchen. As long as they're clean, they're perfect. And my hands right now are very clean. So I'm going to do this with my hands because I want to be able to feel it and see how it goes. This was my mom's favorite meal. My mom made a mean meatloaf, and I have to say, not to toot my own horn, but I think I do too. She taught me well. She was a great cook, my mother. I love her and miss her so much. But I keep her memory alive by making all her recipes, and my kids, they know Nanny made this, or I constantly talk about her. So it's just really, really nice. I keep her alive. Every time I every time I make her meatloaf or her stuffed peppers, I always think of my mother. Okay, now right now it's not moist enough. It's not enough. So I'm going to add some more water. I'm going to add the rest of this water. And like I said, it has to be soft to the touch. It has to be wet to the touch. That's how you know it's going to be moist. If it's not, and that's okay if there's a little, let me show you, if there's a little like watery thing in it. Can you see that? Yeah. You want it to be like that because that means it's going to be moist. Okay? All right. So, this I think is perfect. Now, I know this sounds weird, but I smell it because I want to make sure there's enough seasoning in it. So I'm going to smell it. It smells good. It smells really, really good. Okay, so that's perfect. Now, you don't want to kill your meat by mixing it too much. If you keep mixing it, it's going to become really, really tough. Okay, just give me 1 second. Let me wash my hands because, you know, you have to be sanitary in the kitchen. One thing, this is very, very important. All right. Okay, guys. So right now, what I'm going to do is get my stove on because I'm going to start making the meatballs. Now, you want your flame on medium to high, not really, you know, extremely high, because you want them to brown a little bit, but you don't want them to burn. So you just have to adjust it. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use olive oil spray, okay, a nice amount. So I don't want to fully use oil because I'm trying to watch my weight, of course. Okay, so I do a nice spray, and what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of vegetable oil, okay? just so enough to coat the pan. Now, it's important that the oil is hot. Okay, so let's wait a second till we get the oil hot. And I'm going to start making meatballs. Now, this is how I make my regular meatballs, like, you know, for my Italian gravy. Let me zoom out a little bit. But, of course, I make them bigger. Sorry, guys. This is a learning curve here. I make them bigger for Italian gravy. But what I'm doing is I'm making kind of like a stroganoff, but with noodles over the brown gravy, over the little meatballs. So it's just something different I came up with actually last week, because everybody is like, what are we gonna have for dinner? And I'm like, you know, I'm so tired of chicken, so let's do something different. So this is what I tried, and they absolutely loved it. Okay, so I hear the butter and oil sizzling, so I'm gonna start with the meatballs now. Okay, let me move you back over here so you can see. There we go. All right, so here are the meatballs. Now, I make them about this big. See? You don't want them too big, you don't want them too small, but you want them a nice size. Okay? Just going to make a few for you. And thing that you do is you get them nice and brown, and these will cook fairly quickly. You don't need to, you know, kill them in here, but you want them obviously to be done. You don't want to eat no raw chop meat. Okay, put them in here, and then I'm gonna fill this pan up, and then I'm gonna show you how I make the brown gravy. Now, listen. You know, you have to take advantage of what's in the store. I buy the little gravy packets. You know, I've made my own homemade gravy with chicken broth and with the drippings, you know, like on Thanksgiving and all that. I do that. But for during the week, to get dinner done on the table and to get it done, I buy the little packets of gravy. Okay, it's very simple. It does what you need it to do, and there's no shame in that, guys. Okay? So, you make your little mini meatballs, and these are versatile. You can put them in, you can make wedding soup, and like even chicken soup, put them in chicken broth, and with, you know, carrots and celery and noodles, and oh my god, it would be delicious. These little meatballs are great for a meatball sandwich. You can buy a jar, if you don't want to make your own sauce, you buy a jar of, you know, sauce from the food store. You buy hero rolls, you put them on rolls with mozzarella. Delicious, and you'll have a quick meal. It's all about quick and easy and interesting, you know, because we get tired of the same stuff every day. I know I do. I really do. I get tired of it. All right, now, this is cooking. Now, I'm going to put the flame up just a little bit because I don't like how it's not, I want it to really sizzle. Okay, I'm just going to wash my hands again, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry if I'm not there. I'm blank. It's a crappy day here in New York. Raining and raining and raining. The humidity's gone, but it's nice and cool, which is great. We need it. All right. I'm going to bring you over here. Sorry to move you all around, but this is how I have to do things. You got to work with what you got, guys. Let me bring it in a little bit. Okay, now, here's my packet of gravy. Okay? What you do is you add this to 1 cup of water. Alright? Let me get my thing. I'll be right back. Now, okay, 1 cup of water. I always add just a little bit more, so I always feel like you need a little bit more. You open up the packet. Look how simple. If it cooperates, otherwise you use a scissor. Okay. Now you can put this on the stove, which I normally do if I'm making a lot of gravy. You know, if I'm making 3 or 4 packets for my family, I have 6 people in my family, so you know, I usually make it on the stove. Okay, you whisk it up, get all the lumps out. I like some seasoning in my gravy because that's just the way I am. So I'm going to put some garlic powder. Give me 1 second. I have all my spices over here. All right. Little salt, little pepper, and some garlic powder. Now, mix it up good. I'm going to put mine in the microwave. This is very quick. You put it on for like 3 minutes because this is already made. You just have to heat it up. Okay, put it on for 3 minutes. Now let's see how the meatballs are doing, guys. Come on. Let me bring you over here with me. See that? They're frying up. Let's see if they're ready to be turned over. Yeah, they're somewhat brown. Now, if you don't have a lot of time to fry them or whatever, what you can do is fry them most of the way and then put them in the oven for 15-20 minutes and let them finish baking there. But I tell you, the last time I made these last week, I literally put them on a sheet pan in the oven, and they were good. You know, they were good, but they weren't as good as frying them, I have to say. Even my husband was like, he says, they don't taste like your normal meatballs. And I said, because I baked them. He's like, oh, that's why. They're just different. They just come out different when you bake them versus fry them. I mean, they were still good. They were edible. They were good, but they weren't like when you fry them. It's just, I don't know. I guess you need that grease for that taste, guys. Okay, now while this is still cooking, what I did earlier was I already, give me 1 sec, I already boiled some noodles, okay? Let me show you. These noodles I already boiled. Okay, they're the wide noodles, see? I'm going to strain them out, okay? I'm going to strain them good. Be right back. Alright, here are the noodles. See that? Now, I already seasoned the water when I boiled the noodles, but I'm going to add a little bit of salt. A little bit of salt. Because everything has to be seasoned. A little bit of pepper. We like pepper in our house. Some more garlic powder. Give them a toss. Then put a little butter. Usually put a little butter in it. I'll put the sprayer on for this. I love this spray butter. You know, it really is very, very tasty. And I tell you, it just saves me a lot of calories. It really does. Mix that like that. Where's the parsley? Put a little dried parsley. Okay. You know, it's all to your taste. If you like a little bit more salt, a little bit less salt because you're on a low sodium diet, you know, that's all up to you. You do whatever you think you need to do for yourself. But just use your palate. If it tastes good to you, you know you did the right things. And even if you mess up, cooking is not a, you know, you don't have to be perfect. All right, let's see. This is nice and hot. Where's my whisk? That's what my whisk is right here. Anyway. Now this is pretty thick, but if you can see, guys, it's nice and hot and thick. Okay, mix it good. Now, I'm going to put a little on the noodles. Now, I tell you, last week when I made this, I did put sour cream into the noodles, and it made it more like a stroganoff, and it was delicious. But you don't need the sour cream. I would prefer sour cream, but honestly, I'm getting old, and I literally forgot. I forgot the sour cream. So I figured, you know what? We'll make do. It'll be just as good without the sour cream. It really will. Okay, let's see. Really. These are frying up nice. Now look at these guys. Aren't they adorable? Look at that. I mean, for a little, maybe you could have like they could be hors d'oeuvres. You stick them in, you stick a toothpick in them, you have a little side of sauce on the side, and you have that, you have people over. They're really, really good. They're really cute, and they're really not that hard to do. I mean, it's really, you know, you make the mixture, it's a pretty fast thing. It really is. Okay, so I'm getting very excited because I'm going to taste it soon as this is done. Okay, we're going to give it another couple of minutes. And, okay, you look at that, guys. You can see that, you literally can see the basil and parsley in the meatball. I have to show you that. Look at that. Can you see that? I hope you can see that. Gotta show it to you. Okay, let me get a paper towel. I'm going to put a paper towel over here on the pan. Because you want to drain them out just a little bit. You don't want all that grease. Not good for you. And I tell you, people say, oh, you got to watch chopped meat. It's, you know, it's got to be done. It's got to be well done. Yeah, it has, you know, you're not going to get sick. I like it a little, not rare, of course, not like chopped meat. But you like it a little just done, not overcooked, because then it's like eating a hard rock. Who wants to do that? I don't know about you, but when I bite into a meatball or a burger, I need it to be nice and moist and juicy. I don't want no hard, dry burger or meatball. You know what I mean? I want to enjoy my food. Don't mind my animals. I have puppies. All right. Okay. Let them sit just a second. That's all you need. Put them in. I'm going to use my fingers, guys. Don't mind my fingers, but like I said, you can do what you want in your kitchen. My fingers are clean. I'm cooking just for my family, and that's all that matters. Now look at that, guys. Does that look delicious? Oh, woo! I guess I should use a fork. All right. Look at that. I hope you guys can see. You know what? I'm going to bring it over here because I'm nervous that you can't. I'm nervous that you're not seeing properly. Look at this. Can you see that? There we go. There's the meatballs. Now let me get the gravy. Okay, now watch this. Can you see that? Pouring that gravy over top of it. Oh my God, that looks so delicious. Now this right here, you know, it could feed 2 normal people, 3 little people maybe. You know? Look at that. Woo! That excites me.